So that's your job. And your job is to be willing to die. You're a soldier, man. You're so on the front line. You've gone too far to turn back. If you went and hid in a basement for 6 weeks, people all over the world would think the government had killed you. So you have to understand your obligation, what the universe have gave you. And so just want you to know. Man, I looked at that smile on your face just now. And the first time I ever wished I was a photographer, to take that picture and let the world see that honesty and that integrity. And know some of the things I know, how you'll drive all over the country to chase us down.
It's like I'm stalking though.
You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Chase us down. Okay?
I do feel like I have an obligation for people. I mean, it's bigger than me.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But no, being business, you can't see it. It was business to Trump. He saw nothing.
All right.
Okay? I just saw it, that smile. Okay? And so again, I just say, man, I thank you. I look at Kathy Hughes, what she's able to do with that children. I look at Carl Nelson, the Joe Madisons. You know, some can go further than others because some got leeway. But I just say, man, to sit here, and just, my birthday, it's a weekend. Thank you for contributing to my birthday. You know, all I say is thank you. We move so fast. I don't know if you're married, I don't know if you're a family, I don't know if you're a wife. But when we get on here, we bosom friends. Anytime I see you, I stop whatever I'm doing. Hey, my man, how are you? Hey. Hey, man, what, you know? I owe that to you. Because together, we can beat this thug. Because it's the universal God. And so again, I just say thank you. Thank you for running me down, man. So again, but that's the obligation that you have. How old are you?
I'm 36.
Well, you don't have the right to do what 36 people do. You don't have the right to go to the dance or go to the party. You don't have a right to take that trip to Europe when I might need that plane fare to fly somebody else to feed my people that love me. You feed them. Oh, it's one thing being hungry from food. There's another thing being hungry for information.
That's right.
And that's you the feeder. You got to be the farmer. You got to grow the crop. You got to till the grain. And at nighttime, when you hear something that sounds like water, you got to go see if the crop's going to be flooded. That's your job, man.
Yes, sir.
And then you got to deal with people that think you're crazy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, that's their way out. I'm embarrassed that you told me this, and I didn't know it, so I think you're crazy. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Baba Gregory. And the words of the great Duke Ellington, we love you madly. Keep on producing and pushing.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Guess who's back? Back again. Brother Run. Tell your friends. Guess who's back? Welcome, wonderful family, to another wonderful, infiltrating, edutating edition of We All Be News Free Dixie for the 21st century. I'm your host for this empowerment segment, Brother Run, also known as R2C2H2, the artivist. We got a dandy for you all out there. I hope y'all are prepared, well hydrated, and open to the receiving all this learning. Like Baba Dick Gregory said, I'm the feeder. I'm going to feed you some brain food for you to improve your mood and your attitude, because your aptitude is determined by your attitude. Okay, we got a sister. And speaking of somebody who's definitely got a high altitude, great attitude, willing to serve and willing to give, I want to put on the one and only true sister. She's running to be your next Shelby County clerk, the one and only Tina Montgomery, who is truly beyond category. And night, vote early and vote often. Early voting in Shelby County, Tennessee, July 17th through August the 1st. Primary election day, August the 6th. Without further ado, one on Tina Montgomery. How you doing today, sister?
I am doing great.
All right, it's great to hear that. So yeah, we had interesting run-throughs and stuff like that. Like I had seen you before, not realize it's like deja vu all again. But you're actually running for yourself this time.
Yeah, this is actually my first time running for office. You know, of course, I've worked on the campaign, but now it's me.
What is all about you? All eyes on you. Okay, so like, tell me what inspired you. Like, what's the position exactly? I said clerk, but it's like Shelby County clerk.
Yes, Shelby County clerk. Now people get that confused. They get it confused with court clerk, but it's the county clerk, and the county clerk is the person who distributes tags, your business license, your notary certification. You know, they marry you and give you your marriage certificate. So that's what the county clerk does.
Okay, that's cool. So at least you know your position. You was able to explain that. So like, you know, if you're able to explain it to a third grader, you know what I'm saying? You did a great job. Are you a teacher by any chance? You have a teacher background?
A Sunday school teacher.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're very patient. You got to break down the words because words create worlds. That's excellent. So what inspired you to do this then? Like, it's your first time running for office or any type of office in all your life?
It is. You know, when I was growing up, that's on my bucket list. I wanted to be some type of politician because I just love the politicians. I thought I did until somebody named me as one, and then I'm like, I'm not a politician. I'm just running for this office. That's all. But yeah, but I was inspired because of the treatment that the service. Let me say the service at the clerk's office. Okay, it kind of prompted me to want to make it better. You know, because you go to the clerk office and while I'm out campaigning and running around the community and talking to the citizens of Shelby County, that's one of the things that they have strongly expressed is how they're treated at the clerk's office. Okay. And for me, you know, because of my own years of poor treatment at the clerk's office, I felt like I could make a difference if I was the person leading that department.
So it was been some examples of poor treatment of yourself or you heard from others.
I'll give you two. One is what somebody told me, and the other one I would give you for myself. I'm gonna share first the person, somebody who told me that they were at one of the offices, and there was an old lady in line. She was really old because, you know, the way they explained it to me, I imagine she was really old, you know. And she was just having struggles trying to give them the information that they needed, but they were so, you know, brisk with her, just not kind and not patient. And it was making her nervous. And the person who told me said that they had to go up and try to help her because the people behind the counter was just so mean to her. And she just couldn't get herself together. So that's just one example of the poor treatment. And then my own experience. So this is just the last year. This is the thing that made me really want to run. I had other experiences before, years before, but this one really, you know, topped the cake for me. Okay. I was in the office. You know, you go in the office, you get a ticket with a number. That's the way it normally is. And then you take a seat until they call your number. Right. Well, this particular time, they were, you know, you take a seat and the lady comes from behind the counter and she puts you in a line based on your number. But now ain't nobody else in there. The seats are just empty, but you're making us stand up for hours, you know. And so I'm in line and I needed to sit down. After about 45 minutes, I took me a little seat.
All right.
And when she came back out, some more people had come by then. She came back out to add people to the line and looked and discovered that I was not in line based on my number. And she told me, you can either get in the back of the line or you can go home and come back tomorrow.
Wow.
That was a big problem for me. There was nothing, she didn't take the time to say, are you okay? Why are you sitting down when you're supposed to be in line? At least find out that I'm not fainting. I might have fainted there. You just don't know. But that was one of the reasons why I'm like, this is just too much. And I'm feeling this way, and I'm, pretty much a good, healthy, person.
Yeah.
What happens to people who are worse off than me that had to sit down,
Right.
So yeah, that's what prompted me. That's what encouraged me to run.
It's almost like some Rosa Parks stuff. You are from Alabama, correct?
I am indeed.
That's just in y'all spirit. Oh, y'all just refuse to move. So that's interesting. What part of Alabama are you from, by the way?
Birmingham.
Okay, well, that makes sense. With Fred Shuttlesworth and all that stuff, Project C Birmingham, all that civil rights history. So, like, were your people involved in the movement, or were you involved in any type of activities like activism work in your community coming up?
I'm not so sure. I was raised by, my father died early in my life. And so my mother raised us, alone, and she worked most of the time. But I do remember as a little girl, when the only thing I can remember about that era is when Martin Luther King died.
Okay.
I can remember the tears and everybody just crying and, but as far as being involved in everything, I don't recall any of that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I like going through Alabama. Like, I got, good looking women, good food, a lot of great history, a lot of bad history, but a lot is impactful. Like, when I go through Birmingham, I love going through Birmingham because I'm impressed with their skyline. I mean, Memphis got a suck. We got a crappy skyline, but Birmingham, for its size, got a very good skyline to me.
Yeah.
And it is the Magic City. There's a lot of interesting history associated with Birmingham. And so, like, I always get have a good time just going through there, visiting the 16th Street Baptist Church, the Civil Rights Museum they got down there. The history really comes alive down there. You can see all the, like, to me, Birmingham is what Nashville think it is. That's just me. But anyway, but there's always some good people from Alabama and places like Mississippi, Alabama. They got these interesting, conflicting paths. But why call Memphis your home? What made you call this place your home?
Well,
Shelby County, Memphis.
Actually, well, I do live in Memphis, so, but I came here to open books. I'm an accountant by profession, and I came here to open books for my auntie's church, to help her with her accounting work, and that was in 1987, or it might have been 86, and then in 87, I got adopted by this man that wouldn't let me go back home. So that's how I ended up here. I didn't come to stay. I came to come, do what I needed to do for her, and go back home. But he married me, and I got stuck in Tennessee.
That's interesting. So what made you stay all this time? And you definitely a Memphian. You are from here. Like, you here. What I'm saying? So what made you stay here?
Well, for one, it's my family is here now because, this is where my husband is from. This is his hometown. And I couldn't go if I wanted to go. He's not going to leave. So I could forget about ever leaving. So that's why I stayed. He's not going to let me go.
Well, that's fascinating because you've been around long enough to see like interesting changes and shifts going on in Memphis and Shelby County. What is a good thing about Memphis and Shelby County that you appreciate? Like, name me some good things you like about this place.
I like Beale Street.
Okay.
When I first came here, I'm gonna tell you, it was so interesting because coming from Birmingham, it was like a new experience, because when I came, I had never visited Beale Street or anything. And I came during the Memphis in May. Oh, no, it was
Okay.
April, Africa.
Yeah, April. Okay, yeah.
Yes. And it was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. The people were dancing on the street and they was painting pictures, you walking down the main street and you got all these fun. It was just like amazing. And then you had all these clubs and you have these art museums, and it was just so much culture. I was like, I love this place, so really that's one of the things that I really, really like. And I'm gonna tell you something that I only saw once and I never saw it again, and that was the Cotton Festival. Do you remember that?
I don't remember, but I heard stories about it. I know about it. So you able to see the actual Cotton Festival. Okay.
I saw the Cotton Festival and they had this parade, and I'm like, what is that? But yeah, those things, I think it's the culture here that all the places that you can go to and see, especially downtown, like the Stax Museum. You see all these artists that you didn't even know about. You know what I mean? You get to see those things when you kind of explore. But I have so much more in Memphis to explore, because of course when I came here, and I was in college, and then I was out, and then I was working, and so yeah.
So what are some things you think needs to be improved? I know you talked about the clerk office, but what are some things you see could need some much needed improvement?
Other than the clerk's office?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something that I see I see it as a real problem, is the communities that are lower income communities. I think they can do. We as a government body, I believe, can do better by that. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I have a friend that lives in Cordova. Okay, and the street that she lives on, when I go to her house, there's not a bump, there's not a hole, nothing on that street. But how about they repaved it? But I live in Raleigh, and the streets that I have to go to, I'm bumping like this, right? So why are you paving a street that's not necessary, in this county, when you can pave a street that needs to be paved? So those are the kind of things I think, that we can do better. I think that's a problem. Of course, crime, we ain't gonna even talk about how bad that is, crime.
I mean, we should talk about it, because even with the Memphis Safe Task Force here, they haven't been a year yet. So you haven't seen an improvement in decline in crime from your perspective, or it's same old, same old?
Well, I'm gonna tell you my personal experience here where I live in Raleigh. Every weekend and Sundays during the week, before ICE came, and before the National Guard came, it was shooting. I would be sitting on my deck and I would have to come in because I could hear, they shooting. But after the task force came, it stopped. Now I still hear it. After they left, it started again. And you can hear it every now and again, but it's not nearly as bad as it was. So for me, I can't say that crime has improved from a personal sense. I can only, talk about what the statistics are saying. But, for me, it has gotten a little bit better. But I'm going to tell you now, though, I deal with the problem with my property. Now, that's something that they can change for me.
Okay.
Right now, you can't protect your own property.
What do you mean by not?
Like, if somebody's destroying your property, you just got to let them. You can't go out there and shoot them and get them off your property. You know what I mean?
I mean, you can,
but let them tear it up, or you go to jail.
Yeah, it'd be consequences. But I mean, I thought you could, like, if they're on your property, you can do something about, like, a Castro doctrine or stand your ground. It's not like that.
Not according to the police. Not according to the police, because I've called them and they told me, I'm sorry, ma'am, it ain't nothing we can do about your property. I got to go to court to protect my property just to say this is my property. Because what the police says is, I don't know if it's your property or their property. I don't know who property this is. So we're not going to do anything about that.
I've seen situations where police will allow people to do drag racing and don't do nothing about it. They're afraid of the people they're supposed to protect and serve. It's really interesting. I see the police let people get by, and the people that abide, I'll speed. I remember one time I got stopped by a sheriff deputy. It was a black woman with my mom and the passenger, and I was driving down a side street out there near Hatch Cross, and she told us, she said, "You know why I stopped you?" I said, "Why?" "Because I couldn't catch the person in front of you."
What?
She said, "My mom about to go." I said, "Mom, calm down." I said, "We got to survive the encounter." But I'm saying this black woman is a sheriff deputy. Because my thing about law enforcement is an interest. I have some issues with the black people in law enforcement sometimes, more so than the white cops. It'd be the black cops that do some weird stuff. And I just think that was like, wow, she actually admitted that she pulled me over because she couldn't catch the person in front of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, that's the reality of what we do. But then it's Memphis though. Memphis is fascinating. Why I asked you about the crime thing? I know what they say and the numbers say, but you could have numbers. You're an accountant. You can make numbers say anything. The numbers ain't necessarily lying, but it's a narrative you could provide a context. But my thing, I would say I feel like is improved because I live downtown. My car been broken into a couple of times, but it's been a while back. I would say maybe what is 2022. So it's 2026 now. So for the most part, I think things kind of chill out. But what is the long-term solution? Is it occupation, or what could be done long-term in your view to bring down the crime where people could feel more safe or safer?
Oh, that's one of those hard fixes. I think, and being a person of faith, a lot of fixes will come if people can find their faith in a spiritual. I say Jesus Christ, but I don't know who you would worship. I would tell you to worship my God. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if everybody was online with the biblical principles, we would all treat each other good. But that's one of those almost impossible things because you're not going to get that. So I think the biggest way to fix it, that's, I think we're going to have to bring our heads together for that one. To how you can fix crime, because I think a lot of times, like you say, the police, they don't really know what to do because they're in a catch-22 situation.
Right.
If they are too aggressive to try to stop a criminal, then they face charges themselves. Right. My sister was a detective on the Birmingham police force. And, and that was one of the things that she would always, say how all these people are complaining about what the police are doing, but they won't do what the police ask them to do. Maybe we should have a training in the school system so that we can teach the children from a youth how to deal with the police, because we can't really depend on the parents to do it, but if we
actually.
because sometimes the parents are just terrible. They ain't gonna do what the police say anyway, and they'll leave their children to do the same. So if we put it in the school system, some kind of training to teach the students how to deal with the police, because for me, I feel like if the police pull you over, even if it's for no reason at all, we get attitude. It makes the police angry. And then if they don't have some kind of sense of emotional intelligence, then they react like you act, and then you got a mess on your hand. But if they pull you over and say, I stopped you because you were speeding, instead of saying, I wasn't speeding, just say, okay, okay, I didn't see the speed, sir, but okay. You know what I mean? And then fight it in court if you don't like it.
Exactly.
But to fight the police right there, and some of the stuff I see on TV, and I'd be like, y'all about to get beat down right about now because of the way you're acting with this police officer. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So
I mean, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a way you conduct yourself. Like, I'm trying to survive the encounter, man. Like you said, have your day in court. Like I told my mom was upset about what the lady said and confessed. I said, Mom, we gotta buckle down right now. Let's get through this, right now at this point. But I just think that there's a lot of lack of impulse control from a lot of sides. But people are very impatient.
Yes.
I feel like you should be a police officer if you don't have people skills. I remember when I was substitute teaching at Booker T. Washington High School years ago, I saw this black cop. He was so nervous, like he was actually sweating and shaking. I'm saying, why are you scared of these kids? You don't need to be around nobody. You're police. You like if you shaking and scary like that, I don't understand it. You know that it was weird though. I like what's wrong with you?
Yeah, because you know if you're going in that field, you're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to do a whole bunch.
I talked to state. I talked to long-time law enforcement officers. They said they rarely had to pull their guns out. You look at the movies and TV shows. You ask them questions, you got your gun out. You walk to the restroom, they got their gun out. But in real life, a lot of police officers we don't have to. It's rare that they have to use their firearm.
Right.
Like, but then you got people now. Like I look at 2020, people are so like mentally ill everywhere. Like I try to be as patient, as empathetic as possible, dealing with everybody.
That's right.
I try to be like the peace, try to be diplomatic as best I can. Because everybody got a tipping point, but people are very impatient right now. That's why I say I ask you, you're a teacher, you're a Sunday school teacher, so you got to have some patience like Joe dealing with people. But have you ever seen one of your students come back grown or whatever and see how they turn out in life?
No.
Okay, cool. I mean, what you mean? Okay.
But that's not so true. I have seen them come, but they come and they go, and they usually just come back to church. They'll visit, but just, me really knowing everything, and they're just showing up and they're staying where I can get to know them over again while they're grown up. I don't get that. But I do get every now and then they'll come back and they'll visit, and and a lot of them are doing very well. The ones that I have seen come back, or I see on Facebook, because you see them on Facebook, and I hope everything that they got out there is true. And if it is, they're doing pretty good.
Well, that's what I want to hear. Like, I was thinking about the village concept. You just everybody play their part. You impart some wisdom and a foundation for them to be successful, regardless of what they go through in life. You're gonna have some setbacks, but it could be set up for comebacks. But it's all about your grounding, your foundation. So I know that you, by being a Sunday school teacher, had contributed in some way to their foundation, especially them develop their own moral code and compass. So I think that's missing right now, in a lot of ways, because you let society grow you up. Society's is amoral. I wouldn't let Hollywood and all these other entities and influences raise my children. I read an article years ago about how Dr. Dre and Eminem did not allow their children to listen to their music. Yeah. While they was growing up. I said, but our children listen to their music. I listen to their music. Yeah. Nobody protected me. And like even Nelly, how he had a certain diet that was a very healthy diet, like a Mediterranean diet, but he didn't promote that in his music though. Yeah. But y'all, like Young Jeezy, you talk about the trap house like it's grad school, but your son going to private schools and stuff and getting educated. Yeah. So you're not practicing what you're preaching. So I'm just thinking it's interesting how we allow these entities and influences to raise us up to influence us, when really the person in the home with you should have more influence than the person on the TV or on your smartphone.
Absolutely. But the problem, though, I think really is when it comes to our youth, honestly, is so many babies having babies.
Oh yeah.
And so, you get a 15-year-old raising a baby. They don't have any sense yet for real. Yeah. And they're raising these little children with the no sense that they have. So the children are being raised with the same no sense, because you ain't got it yet. You got to wait a few years and get some experience and some, understanding about life. And then you share that with your children to help bring them up. But if you don't have that, you only have what you can share, and so we got children who is all into this rap culture, and we know rap culture is nothing but violence now. Yeah. I remember when I was growing up, rap was positive. It wasn't that it wasn't as negative as it is now. We talked about stuff, you don't want the war and all that, and how we got to come together and all that kind of stuff. That was the kind of rap we were dealing with. But now it's, I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna, beat you up, and we're gonna smoke a little something, and we're gonna get drunk, and it's teaching our children how to be poor citizens, really. Right. And if our parents don't stop it. You know what I wish would come back?
What's that?
Censoring. You remember they used to censor? They had rated R movies, PG movies. They wouldn't put.
I mean, they still censoring though. They censoring free speech right now.
But it ain't real censor.
What do you mean, like censor? Like, what do you like to see?
You know, right? Because once upon a time, you didn't hear all this cussing on the radio. They didn't play
the songs out, yeah.
You know what I mean? So the censoring is laxy daisy. It's just there in name only, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because the things that they are allowing to come over the air, though they say it's censoring, it's still no good when it comes to children. And they are the ones that's listening to all this. Because while we are at work, our children are listening to all this nonsense, and they're growing up in it. And that's why the parents don't have any control at home. The children are beating up the mothers, and it's just bad. Yeah,
people don't want to talk about. That's a very good, valid points you're bringing up. But I'll say the industry want it like that. They cultivate that type of music, that message. I mean, we went from having you had Marvin Gaye and Curtis Mayfield, but they were balanced though. They talk about the street life and the good life, the church life. They were very balanced. Yeah. Even Tupac was a balance, but now it's this really extreme where they're pushing drugs and just being very disrespectful towards each other and their own selves. But it's by design though. All this is just the music industry is satanic. I mean, it's really satanic. I love music, but I understand it now.
Yeah.
That what was Lucifer was a master musician, right? Up in heaven, right?
Oh, there he is.
So he God didn't domain over the world, right? The secular stuff, all this stuff. So like alcohol is about demonic possession. Spirits, they call alcohol spirits, right? You get possessed by demons and spirits and stuff. But think about our musicians. A lot of them messed up on drugs because they can be controlled and manipulated.
Yeah.
I got a cousin now. I mean, I got people I know that are addicts. I didn't know what an addict was, because an addict basically it changed your whole chemistry up. Like, you no longer who you used to be. Yeah. You don't care about the people that love you. You don't care about yourself. You just want to chase that next high by any means necessary. And it really hurt me, man, to discover that, because I used to take the stuff personal. Oh no, they possessed by this thing. Yeah. And the way the system works, they want to keep you on that thing. They want to keep you jonesing. So this is what they're doing. Like, they want to keep us on this hamster wheel. They want to keep us dazed. They want to keep us confused. They want to keep us an enemy to ourselves because we don't know who we are. And that's by design. That's how they take advantage of us. So when people like you are running and standing on some groundedness, but yet the same people, they say, well, we want people that are going to give us results. We don't give them any radio time or TV time. Or you got to pay to play like Monopoly or something.
Yeah.
How do you feel like on this campaign? It's your first time running. The reality, like, versus what you thought you was getting to and what the reality is.
Yeah, I thought I was getting into an arena that will welcome all candidates. Right. But I discovered that's not so true. As a matter of fact, I had an interview with a group, and I won't call them out because they're supposed to be a non-partisan group.
Right. Okay.
But at the interview, everything that they talked about was my stand on Trump.
Really?
I didn't even get to talk about my platform. At least I don't remember talking about it. Maybe I did.
You said all the time they would ask you Trump questions. Yeah,
it just became one of those things. Like when are you going to talk about what I'm here for? So it's just not what I thought. I didn't raise a whole lot of money. And I think that's because people don't understand or realize the importance of this particular role in government. I don't think they've realized yet that this office is the second highest revenue generator in the county. And the money that they generate, it goes out to help the schools, the hospital, the roads, all these things. So you need somebody in office that's going to take care of your taxpayer dollars. But I don't think people realize, because all they see with this office is the tags, and so they were not as easily to contribute as they are with the state representatives and the Congress and all that, So that was something that I was not expecting. I thought it was going to be pretty easy to raise money because everybody wants the candidate they want to win, and they were going to help them by, volunteering and all that. I expected way more, as far as that is concerned. And, so that was one of the things that was kind of unexpected. I didn't get many calls to come to the TV stations. I sent out, press releases that never got a response. And I think it's all because of the Democratic, because this county is such a more of a Democratic county. And so because I'm Republican, it was not as easy for those people to pull us in and let us give a little talking back. And then no money raised. They think I'm not a contender, but here I am.
But you are a contender. You in the arena and you fighting and you fighting for a good cause. And this is the thing. Like I'm glad what you said, because you made a difference. You said you were Republican. You didn't say you was MAGA. And we talked about it's two different things. I mean, MAGA is a third party that used the Republican infrastructure to become a third party. Mm-hmm. I think MAGA is a movement that really is bigger than the Republican Party or even the Democrat Party. Donald Trump, what he did was he, like a vampire, he was invited in. The vampire can only come in if you invite him in. So the vampire came in and sucked the infrastructure and created his own third party. That's a stroke of genius right there. That's brilliant.
It is. The man is a genius strategist. That's all I can say. One thing is true about him. You can't deny it. And you can see it. Everything that has been tried to take him down has failed. I don't know. I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe this is divine. I'm gonna leave God alone. The Bible say that the government is on his shoulder, so I'm gonna leave him on this shoulder, and and just support when I need to support and move on otherwise.
But it's good that you make why you're not MAGA? That you say you're a Republican, but why not MAGA? What's the difference between MAGA and you? What's some of the differences?
The way that I see MAGA is. It's almost, I feel it's almost anti-Black.
Okay.
And I hate to say that, but when I look at it, it's just so many things that all the things that were in place to assist African Americans have been taken out. I look at Obama. Mm-hmm. His picture's not in the White House. All that kind of stuff. I take that a little personal, just a little bit personal. And so for me, I don't feel like MAGA is for me as a people, right? Mm-hmm. Now the Republican Party is now called the Trump Party, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they call it the Trump Party. So if you're a Republican that's not MAGA, you still don't have much say, because the party now belongs to Trump. But that's one of the reasons why I don't consider myself MAGA, because of I just feel like trying to erase the history of Black people and all that. That's I don't agree with all of that. So that's another reason. And MAGA Republicans are real mean.
Oh, really? Normally they are so nice. I be seeing Black people who are MAGA people.
I'm talking about those that's on TV, the government.
Okay, but what
Trump is mean. He talk about folks and crack on folks all day. His Secretary of State is terrible to folks. His the person that stands up as the PR person, she's terrible. They're just mean, and they like the clerk's office. No good customer service at all. But see, I'm just, because I walk on biblical principles. I try to live my life on biblical principles. These are things to me though we call ourselves conservative as Republicans, some things are not in line with the word of God.
Okay.
And those are the things that I think happens in the mega side of the Republican Party. You know, I'm gonna probably get in trouble for that statement, but it is, you know, what it is. That's how I feel about it. That, you know.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it should be honest. I just think it's weird when I go on Facebook and that people, when they see a black person that's running on a Republican platform, they automatically shut them out. Like, I'm talking about people be open-minded, they're well-educated people, but they're very emotional people. And voting to me is not necessarily the most important political thing. It's having like resources at your access and resources, having the ability to get anything done by any means necessary. I believe that politics is interesting because when it comes to voting, it's more about name recognition than about actual accomplishments or resume.
Yeah.
You know, it's about popularity. Like I look at like Justin Pearson. I don't know what he actually got done at the Tennessee state legislative level. I know he's a master at social media, controlling the narratives, getting out there, going viral, that type of stuff. It ain't nothing about no logic, ain't nothing about no rhyme and reasoning. It's all about triggering people, getting people emotionally invested.
That falls under that human nature. You know, we as a human people, if somebody looks strong and you know, assertive, and you know, we tend to lean toward them because we feel, I guess, a little bit of protection. It's almost like a woman and a man. You get a man and he's strong, and a woman sees him and sees, oh, he can protect me, and you know, and I feel safe when I'm with him, and all that. And I think it's kind of the same with politics, because even with when Donald Trump ran for office, a lot of people, I was asking the young people, you know, because they were loving Trump, and I'm talking about blacks, and they were loving Trump, and I couldn't get it because Trump was really downing us bad at that time. And I was, well, what is it that you like about him? You know what every single answer was? Was that Trump gangster?
He is that. He is the Godfather.
They just didn't feel like he was afraid.
But here's the thing about Trump. I get a bad rap because people, they want to remember things differently. They want to reorganize the memory of Trump. Trump was a very popular figure in black culture back in the day. I mean, it was probably more rap songs about Trump than any other body in history. Trump. And people, black folks love Trump. But here's the thing about Trump that he don't get enough credit for is the fact that when people turn their backs on people like Mike Tyson and Michael Jackson, he stood up for them guys. When Michael Jackson faced that last child molesting allegation, Donald Trump was in his corner. When Mike Tyson was going through what he went through in the early 90s up in Indiana, Donald Trump stood on business. Like he told David Letterman off on live TV about how he was trying to throw Mike Tyson under the bus. Said, no, don't do him like that. You know, the best thing they could do is let him have his career, raise some money, and donate money to domestic violence groups or issues or something like that. He was Team Michael, and he was Michael Jackson and Tyson. But not only that, he did things behind the scene. He let Jesse Jackson have his headquarters rent free up in the Trump Tower when he was running for president. So for me, I think
he used to be a Democrat too. So
yeah, he was a Democrat, and also he's Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton and him are blood cousins. Hillary and Clinton and them are. Trump invited the Clintons to his wedding to his third wife Melania. They was there. They didn't invite him to Chelsea wedding, but they blood cousins. Yeah. So I'm saying it's like wrestling. Donald Trump is like Vince McMahon did the wrestling thing. He's good at marketing himself, playing the heel, playing the villain, playing the hero. But it's a game. You know, to me, it's hard for me to hate somebody I never met before. I never broke bread with Donald Trump. I never had a conversation with Donald Trump. But I look at his history. I try to be fair about what they're putting out now and what he did in the past. And even he had the Black Panther Party, like David Hilliard, one of the founding members of the Panther Party, part of the Panther leadership. He talked about how when they were looking for a place for the Panther Party in New York City, Donald Trump gave him a deal. Yeah. And his folks act like he was senile. Nah, he said he stood on business. He did what he did. He said, ask so-and-so about it.
Yeah. And see, really the thing is that a lot of people don't know. And with all that said, I kind of see him then as like me. I don't broadcast the things that I do. for people like the nonprofit that I have, when I help people, I don't, a lot of times, everybody's like, take pictures and put it on Facebook. I cannot do it.
Why?
Because you got a people who are down right now. I don't want to broadcast them all over the world to see, So for me, it's like I can't do it. I can get the back of your head or something,
Right.
but for me, it just feels wrong to put a person who's down, like you ain't got nowhere to stay.
Right.
So I'm gonna broadcast you all over TV to get some help for you, but now it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I just can't see it.
You do a business like, hey, compensate them for their time or whatever, sign a thing, a consent form, do something because you deserve to get your work. That's why you're on the platform. Because I do want to talk about your work in the community because you're doing some tiny home stuff, and that's fascinating. You into tiny homes, you actually into being a solution oriented person, and you don't give yourself enough credit, and people don't give you enough bandwidth to discuss all the great things you are actually doing. So I'll give you the bandwidth today, talk about the tiny homes thing. What you got you the tiny homes? Tell us about that. That's fascinating.
Okay, so let me tell you how I got involved with the tiny homes. When my husband became pastor of the church, I joined the First Ladies Inc. club. Okay. And I'm like, I don't know what to do as a first lady. So they told me, get you what you do, you find you a project. Mm-hmm. Right. So there was a lady in my church she fed the homeless. Right. And so I asked her, well, why don't you come and do it for the church, and then let me join you, let me help, and let me get on board. Right. Mm-hmm. So that can be now my project. So my project was to help her build up what she was really doing. Right. Through the church. Mm-hmm. And so I started with her, going out, feeding the homeless with her. And in talking to the homeless, I discovered something that I did not know. Okay. See, all my time, I thought the homeless were all bums. Mm-hmm. I really did. I just thought they were all drug addicts and just didn't want to do nothing with their life. That's what I thought. Right. Mm-hmm. But in talking with them, I discovered some things. Some of these people were working jobs, but they didn't make enough money to get any to pay for living arrangements, And I started picking them up. We would pick them up in the church van, bring them to the church, feed them, and then try to find out what they needed. What can we do to help you? Right. And of course, there's no question what their answer was. They wanted somewhere private that they can live. Mm-hmm. Well, the tiny home, it was a craze going on by this time. Tiny homes was all over the TV, and I thought we could do some tiny homes. And so that's where the tiny homes came in. And so I started working with a builder to start. I got someone donated to us a property, and we can get 6 homes on that lot. And so I started out. In 2025, I built the first home, right? And then, of course, I started running for office, so I kind of came off. But 3 days a week, I'm out. Well, not right now, but you know what I mean. Before the campaign, right. I was out, feeding the homeless, trying to do whatever I can. We just packed some lunches. I want a truck. I want a food truck, because I would love to be able to feed healthy meals. Right now, the meals we give, they're not really healthy. They're just to keep you from being hungry. You know what I mean? But if I had a food truck, I can present to them healthy meals, But yeah, that's how I got involved. And so right now, once this campaign is over, I'll go back and then I'll start working on the second home. So I'm just going to build them, just kind of one at a time, unless somebody is so sweet after they hear this broadcast and they say, I'm going to help you and I'm going to fund your nonprofit for this project. That'll be so wonderful if it happens.
What's the name of your nonprofit?
Benevout Community Service Corporation. And Benevout, that word, to help you pronounce it, because everybody have a problem with it. Yeah. Whenever they see it written, they pronounce it Benevout, and that's okay. Okay. But it's Benevout because there's 2 words combined: benevolent, outreach. So,
Okay.
but never out, and that's where the name came from.
Yeah, I have like a social media presence by any chance, a website.
No, remember, because I don't broadcast it. Now I had a website, but then the people who I paid to do my website started trying to scam me out of money. They kept saying I had to pay for this thing and pay for that thing, so I
That's
just
ridiculous.
let them go. And I haven't. All this happened during the campaign, so I haven't had time to really deal with that right now. But I'll go back and get that fixed.
Well, you do have this website, timefortina.com. Let people know about that.
Yes.
Y'all check it out.
Absolutely.
Timefortina.com. So it's very
That's
fascinating.
right.
Got all your beliefs and whatever why you running. People didn't go there to support, but I just think it's very important to highlight what you're doing, because you actually doing what Jesus would have done. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you providing a service for the people, and you're not looking for the fame or the glory, but we need to tell this story. You need to get out there. And I had no idea you was the first lady, that your husband was a minister, but it makes sense. You got an aura about you, very benevolent aura about you. So my thing is this though, it's like, why didn't this not catch on with, what was the issue? Like, it's like it should have been a great idea to do in Memphis and Shelby County.
The tiny homes.
Yeah, I know you said you started running, but why was nobody else? Like, did anybody show interest? Any organizations or any of your peers, did they show interest in helping you with this project?
So Melvin Burgess, you know him, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know that name.
He's running for mayor right now.
Okay.
He was a willing participant, but everything when the race came, everything kind of slowed down for me, because it's just so much that I was having to do. But he was so willing to help. And I plan on going back if he's not in office, then somebody else will be, and I'll be right back. But yeah, I did have some support from him in all of this. And then again, we had somebody that actually gave us the property to do to build the homes on. So I have a little bit support, but it's not because I don't think the people want to help. It's just that I haven't gotten out there to the people to ask for that assistance. I got to find the people that I can go to that can help. Because right now, like I have some supporters who I call them my shoot, I don't forget what I call them. But they're the people who are the beginning with me. So they like donate once a month to help keep it up. Because see, I took a loan to build these homes. Where I am, so I'm having to pay that loan out of my own pocket, except for those people who donate and help. So I got about 4 contributors that donate regularly, right? That kind of cuts down my cost a little bit.
That's cool. I mean, that's something, but you're doing something that the city and the county should be doing. If they really care about people, they can't get the matter of services correct.
Yeah,
and it's I tried. Heavy.
Yeah, I tried getting if the code enforcement had helped, I could have housed a lot of people, because that tiny home cost me $50,000, and then my contractor he shysted me, so it ended up costing me $70,000 to build. Right.
And that's why Trump don't pay his contractors as people, because they be trying to rob you.
Yeah.
You don't know about the side of that business. What they do.
Yeah. So he shysted me. He got to the very last part. I owed him like $4,000. That was $48,800, not thousand, $4,800. That was my last payment, and he was supposed to complete the project, right? Well, before he built it up so far, and then he disappeared. I couldn't find him. He wouldn't take my calls. I went to his office. It was a vacant building. Yeah. And I don't know if anybody out there knows this guy, but his name was
yeah, we'll put that name out there. Yep.
I should put it out there.
Yeah, put it out there. I
His
mean,
name,
like, that's,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, Dwayne A. Washington. Let me make sure his name is right before I put it out there and have somebody in trouble that ain't supposed to be in trouble.
Maybe they're supposed to be in trouble. They just, hey, God is using
Yeah.
you for this moment to put their name out there. But that is not right. That's
Dwayne Jones. His name is Dwayne's A. Jones Contracting. That's
Dwayne
construction.
Dwayne A.
Dwayne
Jones.
A. Jones Construction. And
Okay.
I wasn't the only one. It was somebody on the news who had the same struggle. And she took him to court.
Really?
And so he had to
Is a
pay
brother
her.
right here?
I plan to take him to court too. The time just ain't right now. But
I
I got
understand, but
7 years to
okay.
file. So
But his name is Dwayne A. Jones Construction.
Dwayne A. Jones Construction.
How you spell
Yeah.
his first name?
Dwayne.
Okay. So Dwayne A. Jones, you've been put on notice, bro. You don't mess with God's people, man. You got to answer for that.
Yeah. And look,
how you found out about him? Was somebody recommended him to you, or
I was recommended by the top people. One of the people who's on my team is I've been told they were the Cadillac of engineers, but it's I don't know why I'm losing all these names because it's been so long ago. Let me tell you, but they're an engineering company and they got all kinds of engineers, and every kind of engineer I needed to get my work done, they were able to do it, and they did it all pro bono. And they are the ones that found him. They found him and told him, just looking him up, they didn't know him or had not done any work. But if you looked at his website, he looked like a Christian man. He's all over in Africa building for the people over there. He just was this amazing guy. I loved him. I was like, let me help you. I can do your accounting for you. I can help you, right? But then it just, I don't know what happened. He told me he was sick. And I gave him grace, right? It took 3 years to build that house, and it was supposed to take 3 months. And I gave him grace because he said he was sick, and he was so sick. And every time I would, ask him, well, what's going on with the house? He would say he was in the hospital, or, just that kind of stuff. I gotta hold on. Give me 1 second. I gotta plug up mine because it's gonna give out.
All right, fine. So we were with Tina Montgomery, Sister Montgomery over here, with this wonderful, beautiful sister telling her story, telling her tale. She's running for county clerk of Shelby County, Tennessee. Early voting is going on. Started July 17th, ends August the 1st. You can vote regular election. This is not the final election, but this is the primary election. August the 6th is the day, but you can do an early vote. If you know who you want, don't delay. That's very important. And also, to learn more about this beautiful sister, go to her website, timefortina.com. She lays out her vision, her background story, and all the future glory that awaits us if we elect this wonderful humane being as our next Shelby County clerk. So without further ado, sister, you said Dwayne A. Jones is a charlatan, allegedly.
Yeah, he didn't do the girl right.
No, so like the engineers didn't even help. They didn't really know who he was. They just going by. He could be faking it. You could be anybody on the internet. You know that. Right. You could be anybody on the internet. Can make up any. Yeah. But he sounded good. It sounded like, did you have like an intuition like this is too good to be true? Because they didn't charge you nothing, but he the only one that charged you something.
Well, he wasn't related to them in any way. They had no relationship. They just found him just like I was looking for somebody to help build. And they found him and said, this guy built tiny homes. He built tiny homes here. He's done all this work in Africa building. And I think he'll be good for you. Well, I did look him up. I looked him up under the Better Business Bureau and everything. And he came back clean. Wow. But sometimes there's crime of opportunity. You're just not a criminal on purpose. It's just now that this opportunity has arisen, I'm going to take advantage of this illegal event. Right. And I think I don't want to say that this is what happened since it had happened right before me, and I saw this all over the news. So I knew, but he gave me a good excuse and it made sense to me. Right. It was a rainy season at that time. And he said he couldn't get the work done because of the rain. It made sense. But after he did what he did to me, I felt like, well, maybe it didn't make sense at all. He might have just been a shyster, and I just didn't know it. But you know, when you get people who are pretty kind and kind of lenient, you know, to a degree, if he had not pushed the sickness, then I would have demanded more. But
you gave him 3 years though. That's a lot of. You gave him a lot of. You very, very patient person.
Yeah. I gave him a lot. Yeah, but this man was talking about his feet getting cut off, and he was really sick. You know, so, and then finally I said, well, don't you have somebody that can help you finish this thing, or just tell me what to do? Give me some more people to work to do it. And he always would promise he would get it done. So it was just one of those things. And because I had borrowed the money, you know, I was just, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. It just was a mess. That's all.
Happens. But people go through that. You know, it's nothing to be ashamed of, because people don't talk about all they go through. It's like when you talk about relationships and people say, "Oh, that's a fool." I say, everybody plays the fool. That's what the song say. Ain't no exception to the rule. Some people just tell they tell, because sometimes it's not a loss, it's a learn. You learn a very important lesson.
Exactly. And you know what? Let me tell you how good God is. Okay. He was supposed to build 2. But I told him, I said, listen, let's just do one at a time so that I can understand the process. Right. I didn't want to have to deal with it with the multiple houses. Let me just do one so I can understand the process. Yeah. And that was all God. Because if I had let him build 2, I would have been stuck with nothing finished at all. You know, because I wouldn't have had enough money to finish either.
So the house is not finished right now. The tiny home is not finished.
It is finished now.
Okay, but he didn't finish it.
No, he didn't finish it. As a matter of fact, he had all my material, everything. He would not respond. I'm like, just give me my material. Let me do that. If that's something I won't have to repay for. But he never did any of that. He just fell off the map. And then when I went to his house, it was to his office, it was an abandoned house.
And he wasn't there.
No, it was abandoned.
Well, my thing is, let's say that he was or is sick. He probably like that because look at how he lived his life. Look how he treat people of God. You don't treat people of God like this. You get what you get. But
let me say this. I know we're gonna go somewhere, but let me tell you about the sickness.
Okay.
See, I'm not that big of a nut, right? Me and my investigative daughter, who is one amazing young lady, we staked him out. He was working, so he wasn't that sick.
Oh, he working day and night
because I'm taking it to court with me. See,
so you got the evidence, you got the footage, and everything.
Absolutely.
Like he was filed for unemployment. They caught him in the rain.
So
the Wayne A. Jones, you've been on
now that you too sick to do my work, because you over there working on their work, and I got the evidence.
Hey, everybody got their day, but somebody asked in the chat, peace, God is a peace. Greetings. So is she running for Wanda Halbert's seat?
Yes.
Okay. And then she also said, God is a peace, said, oh, that's terrible about your story. But we all got some story like that where everybody plays the fool. Everybody. Ain't no exception to the rule. But you are still here.
I'm not mad at it. I thank God for it, because guess what?
What?
It can never happen again.
That's right.
And now this was just a small project. Just imagine now when it's a big project, I know what to look for. It's kind of like the marriage thing. You get a bad husband, the second one ought not to be bad.
I mean, it's not a loss, it's a learn then.
Exactly.
You actually learn the lesson, because if you don't learn, you're going to repeat it.
Exactly.
And also, God is a peace, love, 5341, gratitude. I hope you get it. So you got confirmation, affirmation from a beautiful sister. We got some educated people. I got some Memphis folks that be listening to the show and stuff like that. And people gonna get a listen on, I guess, re-listen. They could download it, whatever. But I just think it's important that we get to know people that are trying to run for these offices, where it's all about the public trust. And it's like you're a very transparent person. I can tell you love people regardless of what people tend to do or not do for you. Whatever, you still got a love for people. Absolutely. And you have, and you're consistent. And like even me getting to know you and stuff like that, you saw each other twice before we made a connection. But you all, I want to be on the show, I said, fine, it's good. We made it happen, And we had some setbacks, but a setback is a setup for a comeback. But by us having no setbacks, I have a better understanding of who you are and where you're coming from. And I just want people to understand that you're a very sincere person as far as I know. I mean, I
Yeah.
deal with you because even you, I met you 3 years ago and you brought it to my attention last night, whatever, or the other day. Hey, we met 3 years ago. I said, yeah, you made an impression on me. And I, you know, it was somebody else's campaign you was helping with. But how did it help you, like dealing with their campaign for your campaign? Like, what were you able to pick up on or learn from dealing with their campaign?
You know, nothing. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
I learned nothing because I was just following orders. It wasn't like it was just like, okay, you call me up, I need you to make these calls. You know, I learned that I need to make some calls.
Right. It's part of the game. That's part of the game. Gotta raise that money.
Yeah, and I need to be out here in this community. I did learn that I learned. Yeah, I guess I learned how to semi-campaign. I learned some pieces of campaigning, you know, because I wasn't in the whole. I wasn't a part of the whole, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know, like you have your volunteers, and one volunteer do this, one do that, one do that, right? And so this volunteer may make calls, that one may go out to the polls or whatever. So it was one of those situations. So his strategy, I did not get.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If I could have understood his strategy, then I would have learned probably how to campaign, you know. But I just had my role as a volunteer in the campaign. So I didn't get the strategic part that I probably really, really needed, you know, to really run the campaign. And then, you know, one of the things that I was saying about even the party is one of the things that I think when you get people like me, a very first time politician who's never run before, we don't know where to start, honestly. You know, we don't know where to start. And so if you had some type of step-by-step process or resources that you could go to, like a group of people who build websites, right? That would help us tremendously. Those little things that could help a person who don't normally run for campaign, you know, office, it could help if we had some type of list of resources that we could go to learn how to put our strategy together and things like that.
I mean, that sounds reasonable. So there's no place, like even in your own Republican Party, they don't have no type of outlets like that at the Shelby County level. The Republican Party, do they help you? I mean, the Republican Party actually help you with your campaign? Do they assist at all?
Well, yeah, but it's not just for me. It's a whole, you know, like the advertising. You know, they're gonna send the advertising out. I'll be on that. That's something I didn't have to pay for myself, and that's tremendous because advertising, I think, is a shame the way they charge us. But I
mean, you got to pay to play. That's the American way, though. That's the American way.
So they do that, and then you know, like knocking on doors. They do that for us. They do it for the whole. You know, all the Republican candidates, you know, get that, but they don't have an individual like, I'm going to help Tina. You know, it's not focused on individual. Maybe in the bigger campaigns like the governor or something, they may do that a little bit more. But for us local candidates, I don't know if they have that one-on-one so much. At least they did it with me. But then, you know, again, knocking on doors, I didn't have to do that, though I did do it. And I didn't have to, the advertisement for me was there, though I still needed to do more, but that's how they help.
Well, actually, it's interest, like, you know, it's like money is an issue in these type of things. Like, you know, these campaigns, even at the local level, requires a substantial amount, sum of money. So were you thinking about the money situation side when you got involved, or you like you said, well, the money gonna come, or like gonna be like manna from heaven? Like, what was your take on the money situation when it came to campaigning?
Well, they told me I was gonna have to raise money, and that they couldn't give the candidates any money. but they could do what I said that they have done already for us. And then they had classes that you could go to, but they were out of town. And if you couldn't get out of town, you couldn't take
those Zoom calls or Microsoft Teams. We got this 2026.
Yeah.
You got the Pony Express, come on.
Yeah. But anyway, but that's kind of like how it was. I mean, I appreciate every help I get, every volunteer, every dollar. I'm just thankful because I know you don't have to do that. I was with my team today. We had a wreck.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, wow.
And I'm like, oh shoot, why do we have to have a wreck?
Everybody on fire, y'all. Everybody good though. I mean, I know the car
damage. Good.
Okay.
Everybody good. Again, hey, the Lord is so good that the car because it would have been our fault. Okay, we bagged into the people.
Okay, it
pulling out of a parking lot, but their car was already tore up. The bumper was taped on with some tape.
It's Memphis. It makes sense. That's the only thing. Bumper cars going down the expressway. People with no bumper. It's only in Memphis I see this in. I go all over the place. I only see this in Memphis.
Yeah.
No insurance, no bumpers.
Yeah. I'm like, so what do we do here, sir? You want my insurance card, or what do we do?
We good. Probably improve the location of the bumper on the car.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. People in the chat, they coming through now. This is interesting. One person I don't know is a guy. They said she doesn't sound resourceful enough to be an important bureaucrat. Then they followed up. This was Wanda's problem: failure to improve and adapt to an ever-changing business environment. So, what's your take on that? What's your answer to that?
Well, the Shelby County Clerk's Office is having a problem with accounting. Mm-hmm. They're having a problem with processes. That's my skill set. That's what I do. As far as being resourceful, and I don't know what they mean by that, but I'm pretty resourceful, I think. But if they're talking about knowing who to go to get this and knowing who to go to get that, I wonder with whoever this is that's talking, it may not be that easy when you are coming into a field that you are not familiar with, and that's anything. Any person who ever ran for office had to start from the beginning.
Yes, it's true.
And probably was as resourceful as me. Mm-hmm. And some of them were wonderful politicians and some failed, right? Mm-hmm. But they had to start. I'm at the beginning. I don't have a whole lot of mess behind my name because I haven't been in politics, but I have been in corporate. I can do the job. I understand all the problems that's going on in that office. Mm-hmm. Whether or not I know where to get a computer from, all that is already down there for me. I can ask the people that's there. They're resourceful enough. See, it's a team effort.
That's right.
No one person knows everything.
That's right.
So I'm resourceful enough. Guess why? Because I'm going to have a team that knows what's needed for that office. And all we got to do is pull them together and help them to work together as one congruent body. That's the whole process. The problem that they're having at that office now, they're not working together. It's not a team effort. The employees are not getting the support that they need to do their job, right? But I can make that happen. Your concern should be, can I get my tags on time? Can I get my business license? Is the money that is going into that office accounted for properly? Those are the resources I need. And I got those, and I can present those, and I can give the state what it needs when it comes to the budget. Because if I don't do my budget, I done already messed up the state budget and my budget is a part of their budget. So we got to put all this stuff together. So yes, I have what I need.
Okay, that's good. And then you got a fan already in here. God is, peace. Yes, she really does seem really resourceful. So, I mean, it's interesting. Like, how can somebody be prepared to be president of the United States? Ain't no experience that's gonna get you prepared. Right. You just got to go through the fire like Trump or anybody else, Obama or anybody.
Absolutely.
And they say Ashe. Yeah, you got a fan here. I think she might be in Shelby County, Tennessee. God is a peace. Love 5341. Also, okay, we got They answer back. Araman Tree AX6112. Leadership leads. We need confidence and cooperation in that office. Good luck, though. So these guys may be potential voters.
Mm-hmm. And I totally agree with them. That's what they need, and that's what I bring.
Yeah, I know I talked to people in that office. They said, well, she don't really play team ball per se. I don't know. I also heard that she was actually exposing corruption that was beyond her office because she wasn't doing business as usual as well, too.
Yeah.
Like it exposed it. It's such a corrupt. Shelby County, Tennessee is so corrupt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like what I hate about the corruption, I can tolerate corruption if y'all getting stuff done for the people. Mm-hmm. If it's all about one side, y'all just taking. And not giving enough, like if y'all can't even fix Elvis Presley Boulevard, that's y'all can't even fix Elvis Presley Boulevard, the second most visited private residence in the whole country, and it's named after an iconic American legend, and y'all got that looking like it's a war zone.
Yeah, and that's
what's the excuse? I mean, I'm just looking at black politicians that we send to Nashville. They come out, the white boys, the East Tennessee folk, the Nashville folk. What about y'all? It's like. I heard one guy, I'm gonna tell his name, Joe Towns. I don't care. Mm-hmm. Joe Towns, he was at an event that I was at that was honoring people that did public service, the 300 ceremony. This is April 4th, 2021. It's recorded. Mm-hmm. Pearl Walker recorded it, so I don't know if she just got it on Facebook. But he told us at the ceremony. Now, this is state rep Joe Towns. He's been there since 95, I believe. Mm-hmm. He said in 2021, we can't do nothing for y'all at the state level. Pray to Jesus. He told us that he's like basically say, pray to Jesus. We can't do nothing for y'all. And I'm saying, well, why are we voting for you for like what is that? All you care about is your health benefits and your little salary, whatever, and you sell out the people? Because I can't think of none of them black politicians have really made a mark on getting stuff done for the people of West Tennessee. I'm not just talking about black people. I'm talking about the people that they represent in their districts from their region. They just do a lot of talking. They always point the finger at the white man. But don't we all need water and food and clothing and shelter and access to education? Are there some things we can't agree upon and leave everything else to the side?
Yes.
I mean, it's weird. They take selfies. They go party. They like to take selfies and go party and hang out with their frats or sorority, but they don't do nothing for the people, for the majority. Right.
Yeah. And it doesn't make sense because when we vote you in to do something for us.
That's right. You know what happens though? Go ahead. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but what I don't understand is if the people have shown you that you voted in that they're not good for the position, but because we have a familiar face, a familiar name, we vote them in again. It makes zero sense to me.
Stockholm syndrome.
I can't figure that out, And a lot of times you lose a person who could be perfect for a position because of a familiar name.
That's what it's about. It's an abusive relationship. It's Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
We love being abused.
Right.
I'm serious. I mean, think about it. This is domestic violence. You think about it. Our own people are abusing us and exploiting us and giving us diminished returns. But we reward them with loyalty and, help them. But the problem with these I'm going to tell you what the problem is. They are so corrupt and because they so inept, I would say this. They sell their souls. They puppets. And they don't represent the interests of the people. They represent the interests of the entities that put them there, who signed the big checks. So they don't even they not really serving us. It's like even police, when the police say protect and serve, they not serving us. They serve us all right, but they're protecting the interests of the people that runs and control the system.
Yeah,
the ownership society. You can't spell policy without POLIC. So the police are the policy enforcers. Mm-hmm. They don't work for you and I. We are a threat because if we raise questions, they don't answer, and all this stuff. If we're critical thinkers, you're a threat to the system because they don't want to educate. You think about there are people graduating in Shelby County, Tennessee, with diplomas. They can't spell diploma. They go to college. They got to take remedial English and math. I met engineers, brilliant people, but they went 12 years through a system that was undereducating. To me, that's the worst. That's the most criminal thing you could do to a society is to undereducate the people in said society. It's to limit their ability to have some type of upward mobility. So you got people that look like us that be the quickest one to sell us out for a pork chop sandwich.
Yeah.
Not even $5, just a pork chop sandwich. They'll sell us out for the lowest bid. And this is what we got. And these are not leaders, they're puppets. You got to think about who put them there. Like Judge Joe Brown say, follow the money.
Yeah.
Like who do they answer to? They not. Cohen bragged about bringing $13 million back to Shelby County. Dude, you been in there for 20 years. $13 million has been 1 quarter.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about I brought 13 million over 20 years, but you became a multi-millionaire. That's not even added up. To me,
Yeah.
I'm a public servant. You pay me 6 figures with a benefit, 401k plan, and health and good health insurance. Why am I gonna screw you over?
Yeah.
If you taking care of me, why am I gonna screw y'all over?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I'm gonna get out my soapbox. But yeah, that's me, y'all. And the views don't represent the platform. Like the views of the guests and hosts is solely separate. I didn't want to have a place where people could speak their mind, speak their piece. But also, I'm not taking money for her. Being on here, I want people to know about her. I want people to know about options because I'm tired of people saying, "God, I know it's a broken clock." They keep on talking about we need to register more people to vote. You don't have to register more people to vote. There are 600,000 registered voters in Shelby County. About 400,000 in Memphis. Only 16% came out to the vote early, whatever. You got to put up more different people with different ideas.
Yeah.
We're tired of the same old trash. Give us different people with different ideas, different perspectives, and who want to really serve people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree with you there because really, I call it recycling. We just recycle the same government workers. They just recycled. I'll leave this post and just come to this post, But at that post, nothing got better. So now you're gonna come to this post for nothing to get better,
Right.
So it's just like you say, and really I hear that a lot when I'm out in the public, among the citizens. That's what they say. We tired of the same old people. We want somebody new.
Yeah.
We tired of all this. Because these people doing the same thing, So I'm new.
You knew blood. You knew blood. We need new blood. But I'm saying but are you a member of sorority by any chance? Are you a member of any type of organization like that?
No, I'm not. But I did pretty good in college. I graduated high up in my college career, and had a lot of friends amongst the college people. But I never joined a sorority or anything like that, and a lot of that was based on my religious convictions. Yeah. But that's the only reason. I did join one, and that was a honors fraternity. Yeah, but it wasn't like like the what they call them, the
Divine Nine, not the Heavenly Seven.
Right.
Heavenly Seven.
Yeah.
Who left out, Steve? Who the one you left out? The Heavenly Seven. The Devout Eight. Who are you talking about, Steve? Get going, Cohen. Get going. We want you out of there, Cohen. But my thing is weird about Memphis. This is a frat sorority. What's your last name town?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you look at Paul Young, he taking care of the Kappas, and you got Deltas, you got AKAs. I got folks in my family in sororities and frats. I'm not knocking it, but it's funny how a lot of these folks in these positions in the city and the county, they are affiliated with frats and sororities. Or maybe they Masons, or maybe their last name might be a Ford, or they Hooks, or whatever. Same old stuff. And you got folks, you talking about a brain drain. Folks, it's crazy. I go around the country. I don't care if I'm Chicago or L.A., New York, Texas. I tell folks I'm from Memphis. They say, you got to know this sister or brother doing these amazing things up in here. I said, I had no idea they were from Memphis. Because a lot of people don't want to talk about they from Memphis because how Memphis treated them while they was in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to go somewhere else to make your name. The person that do Harlem Fashion Week, she's from Memphis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she up in New York. Even they got this thing on Facebook and social media about the saxophones from Boys in the Hood. Like, play all that. That's Kirk Whalum. He did the soundtrack for Boys in the Hood. That's his saxophone.
Wow.
That's Memphis. So I'm saying everywhere you go, Memphis got a powerful brand, but here the people don't know, understand the impact that we have had globally and even locally. And Memphis is a great place to be from. It's a great place to do business. It's a distribution hub of the country, but the people of Memphis don't benefit from that. So I'm saying like people say, oh, we got so and so coming in, this Fortune 500 company, this, and that, but how are they benefiting the local community?
Right.
So they bringing their people in, then they're taking resources from us and bringing it and going somewhere else with it.
Exactly, like the people, like the people coming in buying up all the blight,
the LLCs. That's crap.
Yeah, and instead of making affordable housing, you just making it more unaffordable for us to live in this town. I look at, once upon a time, Memphis, you could buy a home in Memphis and you would be okay, but you got these people coming in from all these other places where their cost of living is so high, and then they bring that same cost of living to us and they apply those same prices to us, pushing our cost of living up. And it shouldn't be like that. We need to try to keep some of this stuff in Shelby County, in where we live, instead of discharging it out to everybody and then they coming in and changing the way we live.
Well, that speaks to the lack of leadership. Like these people, they up here scamming and from us, the people. Like that's why they down. That's why Trump people down here, not for just the illegal immigrants, the ICE baby. Y'all wrong, lady. They getting everybody doing all the audits. They all scared. It's like you hear a church mouse like they're peeing on cotton or whatever. The way people are so afraid to do business because they being audited. Everything is becoming transparent, even with the miseducation system. The fact that they bamboozled us out of $100-something million, probably more than that, actually. But I'm saying the fact that these fools could think they could get away with playing with God's people is ridiculous. They're gonna have to answer for that. I don't feel so. I'm not because you black like me. You're not black like me because you're not right like me. You're not my kin because you got my skin. Get the hell away from me. You worse than the money changers. Get the hell out of here. No, I'm just saying, like, I ain't gonna do we black, we all right. No, we ain't all right. No, we not. Get the hell away. You're not my people because I look at the color of your character.
Right.
The servant of your spirit. I don't care because I don't hang around the white people. I don't want to hang. It's some black people that did me dirty too, though.
Yeah.
It's some whites. Everybody is a human thing. It's spiritual warfare, right?
It is.
And pick a side. But I'm saying stand aside if you just trying to just pick our pockets all the time. I'm just tired of the same old crap I hear from these politicians. They like short-sighted. They really don't see the big picture. It's not about the ego. It's not about you abusing your power and playing with the levers. It's bigger than that. God got a bigger plan for Memphis and Shelby County.
It is. And it is sad because, I don't know if it was you I was sharing with somebody how, Willie Brooks, you know him.
I don't want to hear Kappa, hear Pretty Boy Kappa.
Okay, but he, when I first started my program to try to help the homeless, he gave me a $10,000 grant.
Okay.
Right? But they froze the money before I got a chance to get it because of I want to say it was because of COVID. I can't quite remember why they froze it, but when they unfroze the money, there was a different person in position. And so I called to try to find out, okay, now what's going on? Am I going to still get the money? And now that he's not in position anymore. So they told me it depended on the person who had came into position, that they would have to be the one to now approve the release of the funds. Well, needless to say, I did not get those funds. Wow. They refused to release the funds. And so it's that kind of stuff. Now, what happened to his $10,000? That was his budget that he was giving from. So what happened to that $10,000? Did you take it? Did you keep it? Where is it? I didn't get it, And when I called about it, they told me they were going to get back with me. They never got back with me, so it's that kind of stuff that goes on with this, and I still want the $10,000. You know who you are in office. Give me my $10,000.
Right. You talked to Willie about it though? Did Willie ever you talked to him about it? What happened? I know he was in the office, but you talked to him.
No, I never did because he was out of office. So I didn't think he could really do anything about it since he was not. And because of what they told me that the only way I could get it is if it was approved by the new commissioner, the sitting commissioner, I can tell you who it was. I'm not afraid because it was called. I say his name wrong. People keep correcting me. Caswell.
Oh, Caswell. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't release the funds, and so I lost that money, and I never did. I wasn't able to get back with him so that I could see if I could get it, because the only meeting that I had with him, he canceled it, and we never did get another meeting.
Yeah, I would have brought Willie in there because they look bad on Willie. I know he out of office, but Willie probably know him better than you do. I'm sure he does. And he probably could have, unless he don't like Willie, that's why he did it.
Yeah.
You know how people be holding on petty grudges. You don't know what people weird. But but that's not right. But the thing about it is they probably, because we had a situation with my nonprofit trying to get a historic market replaced. We didn't have some interesting things going on behind the scenes on that. So I got actually identify with your plight dealing with the bureaucracy of it all. Because their thing, it's like they pride themselves on being incompetent. Like it's like mediocrity is rewarded in this type of system. And if you got a certain standard or a concept of excellence, you get penalized for it.
Yeah.
Like if you was a person that was irresponsible and lackadaisical, you would have got $20,000.
Right.
I mean, like, you know it.
But yeah, it's so true.
You got all the money because they're gonna find a way, say, oh, this fool, we're gonna get a fool any type of money. They're gonna get it back, with interest.
Yeah.
Well, somebody is talented that know how to do numbers, that know how to make things happen. When people say there's no way, you make a way, they're not gonna give you that type of access, unfortunately.
Yeah. And it is sad that that's the case, but it is, and that's why we have this same old mess right here in our county, the same old mediocrity. Just as you say, because what sense does it make to build to repave a road that has no problem and leave a road that's filled with problems unpaved? That just makes no sense.
And then the damage it does to your car. I know I got some I got a lot of that. I said, man, I get the oil change today. I can't do all this right now. So basically, when we replace the parts of my car, you basically want me to buy a new car. What you saying?
Yeah, and look, if a pothole tear your car up, guess what? The government ain't gonna fix it.
I heard they supposed to, but they ain't gonna probably more than like. I won't hold my breath.
They said it on the news. If
they don't even want to pay.
Car is damaged through a pothole, the government will not fix it.
But they don't even want to pay the vendors that they are contracted with the government, the city, and the county. I know people that have been having horror stories getting their payroll met. For 3 months, they've been waiting on payroll to get. And imagine if they checks wasn't coming for 3 months, what type of hell they be raising?
Yeah.
And these are folks that look like us, they're supposed to have our best interests at heart, but they don't care about us.
Right. Yeah.
It's like at the county and the city level, bunch of clowns. I mean, I look at the city council, I said, like, cause they keep on talking about, like Judge Joe Brown said, you keep on talking about white people this. Both mayors are black. City council majority black, city commission majority black, education, all these places majority this, majority that. Y'all want to point to the white boogeyman,
right?
Okay, nah, we can't give y'all that. I'm tired of this saying. I mean, I'm just like, it's just weird to me. It's strange to me, this incompetence, and people think it's okay to really, cause like it bothers me coming to Memphis and seeing that crappy skyline.
Yeah. I'm
disturbed by it. I go to Birmingham, I go to Nashville, go to Atlanta, Chicago, then go to Memphis. What? Yo, that is weird. The pyramid down here in the swamp, it won't be on top. Like it don't even look like it don't bother you how crappy that skyline is. No crappy skyline. It's ridiculous. Indianapolis, I mean, I go to Cincinnati. I don't care. They got amazing skylines.
Yeah.
Memphis, what is hell? I mean, then you look at what Memphis has done for the impact. It deserves a better skyline.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you get somebody in there say, I'm just gonna fix every President Boulevard. That's all I'm gonna do for my whole term. I'm just gonna focus on every. Oh, that's a crazy fool. But guess what? If they do it at an exceptional level, I'll trust them with everything else.
Yeah, yeah.
For 4 years, we're gonna focus on that miseducation system. We're gonna just focus on that. We don't care about the crime. We don't care about this. We're gonna focus on fixing this.
Yeah. And sometimes, sometimes honestly, that's what you have to do. You have to take the worst situation and get it under control. That's one of the things that somebody asked me, what you gonna do when you first get in office? First thing I'm gonna do is try to figure out what's going on in this office and try to get it under some control. You know what I mean?
Do an audit. You're gonna do an audit, right?
Let the citizens of Shelby County know, look, y'all, this is where we're starting from. It's a mess right here. This is what's happening. The employees are not getting paid. whatever the problem might be. The money is not coming in, but this is what we have right now. We took this much in revenue. We've spent this much in expenses, and these are our troubles right now. And this is what I've got to get fixed. I want the people to know that, because when I go into office, a lot of times you go in the office, you get blamed for the previous administration.
Of course you do.
Yeah. So we're going to try to make sure that don't happen, because I am a beginner. And the first thing they'll say when I get in there, I knew we shouldn't have voted for her because she didn't have no government experience. So no, we're not going to do that. I'm going to show you what's wrong when I get in there. And then if I don't do well, you can talk about me all day long and I can take it. Because one thing I'm a transparent person. And if I done messed up, I'll tell you I done messed up.
But I hope that people give you that patience you gave that contractor.
Yeah.
And to be able to turn that ship around, gonna take a minute, to get stuff organized, like I said, get things back on track, to rebuild that trust, and also provide that transparency. So I would rather have somebody like that. If that's your first term is doing that, do that.
Yeah.
If anything else, do that. Better customer service, So I don't have a problem with give somebody a chance, because you ain't gonna never get the experience unless you got a chance. That's why I think it was weird with Cohen talking about, well, so-and-so don't got the experience. I said, what have you done in 20 years besides pass legislation for paper straws in the congressional cafeteria?
Yeah. And somebody with experience would say that. I bet he didn't have that same statement when he first ran.
No, he didn't. He did. But he did the Tennessee state lottery, but that was a long time ago. That was at the state level. What have you done in the federal level that really makes you a standout? What I'm saying? At that level, if all you could do is brag about bringing $13 million over 20 years, that's nothing. And I'm not, $13 million is a lot to me. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But I'm saying you being a federal person,
county. Yeah.
It's $13 million over 20 years is nothing. And some of that money was going to come here anyway, according to the judge, for infrastructure reasons.
Yeah.
Like, so you really can't claim that. And then and people, I hate the cuddle personality. I'm not against people at all. I respect everybody that's running. I know some of the people, different areas, walks of life that's running. I respect them all. But my thing is, I'm not going to put all my faith into a man or a woman. Because we all got an expiration date. And we are made to let each other down. This is being a human. So I'm not going to put all my hopes and dreams and rainbows and stars and unicorn on anybody.
Yeah, and you know what? That's one of the reasons why I say I don't bash. I don't bash. You know why?
Yeah, why?
Because you never know what position you might find yourself in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And if you done bashed girlfriend over here who found herself in a terrible position, right now you got to suck up, because now you right there too. So I don't bash people, because like you say, we don't know what. When I go into this office, I don't know what might come up. Something may come up that I don't know what to do with. I got to figure it out. And in figuring it out, I might make some errors in trying to figure out how to fix it, because this is a problem that has never happened before. So we can, I don't bash, because I don't know what Wanda. I don't know Wanda. I've only met her once. But I don't know what she done gone through in that office.
You may want to talk to her after you get in. You may want to have talk to her, like have a lunch or a coffee or something, and talk and pick her mind.
I did try.
You did try. It didn't work.
I did try. As a matter of fact, let me tell you, I voted for Wanda.
Okay, I did too.
In her first term, and when she started going through all this stuff that she was going through, I sent her a text. I called. I did everything. Let me help you. I wasn't even trying to get no pay. I said, let me come in and help you with the audit. I can help you with this budget because I know how to do budgets. Let me come in and help you, right? I didn't get a response, anything. Well, I met her on the campaign trail, and I invited her to lunch, and she said, yes, let's do it. Call me. Well, I called her, and it was nothing. She didn't respond. I texted her. She didn't respond. I had my team text her. She didn't respond. So I didn't get a chance to talk to her at all, but I tried, because I don't have a problem with Wanda. If she, she's done. Now I told many people, I don't know why they're trying to sue that lady, because by the time they get the lawsuit in good, it's going to be time for her to go. Why waste our dollars?
That's interesting. Well, they like, because that's their nature to waste money. not to
Yeah.
spend and invest in good things and people. But one, I'm surprised. I believe she's a Taurus, and Taurus, we love food. So I mean, you said, I don't know. Maybe her
Well,
phone was glitching. I don't know about that.
maybe it was the Republican thing.
Right, baby? Yeah, I love food. Hey, steak is a steak, ribeye, ribeye. Okay, it was Republican or Democrat, but
Yeah, but you know what I think is sad?
Yeah.
I think it's so sad that the Republicans and the Democrats can't work together, because really, when you think about it, this is for the whole community. Why are we fighting among one another if we can pass laws and all that that benefit the whole? Why are we fighting? Just because I'm a Democrat, I'm going to say no to your plan, and because I'm Republican, it's a no. You know, but that's what it looks like to me that's happening in government now. It's just, I'm not going to agree with anything you want to do because you're Republican, and vice versa. And I think that's so sad. I think they need to get rid of parties altogether and choose the best two candidates and let them run against each other.
I mean, but you got to really understand, Democrats, Republicans are two wings on the same bird. They part, like Bloods and Crips, Vice Lords and GDs. Just a game. America's a gang culture anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's all about it's tribalism and stuff like that. But my thing about the Republican, which is interesting about this Democrat thing in Shelby County, Tennessee, I don't really believe that Tennessee is a Republican state or even a Democrat. It's more of a purple state. It's like, you had Phil Bredesen in there before this lead guy, and Phil Bredesen was the visionary. I believe he was mayor of Nashville. Nashville is like the way it is now because of his work at the levels as mayor and governor. But I feel that was the irony of it all about Shelby County and this Democrat BS is because it was Black Republicans that gave Democrats their power in Shelby County. It was the Lincoln League, Robert Church Jr., Lieutenant George Lee, people like the Martin brothers. He was entrepreneur, civic leaders that became, I guess, the support for Boss Crump. Boss Crump was from Holly Springs, Mississippi. And in order to get power, he had to work with the Black Republicans in Shelby County because Robert Church Jr., who was the son of Robert Church Sr., the savior of Memphis and the first Black millionaire of the South, he was one of the most powerful Republicans in the whole country, not just Black Republican, but one of the most powerful Republicans in the whole country. And so Boss Crump came to his aid, he summoned Robert Church Jr. to get the Black vote in order because Memphis was one of the rare places in the South, unlike a Birmingham or Mississippi, where Black folks were allowed to vote for the most part, as long as you voted Democrat. And you got something for your vote. You got some chicken and beer and watermelon, I guess. But you think about the Fords, you think about the Lees, the churches. They ran the churches out of here. But Boss Crump stopped playing nice once Franklin Roosevelt got into power at the White House. That's when he discarded the Black Republican leadership in the city of Memphis. And ran the church family out of here because Church Park was actually Church Auditorium, one of the first Black-owned and built auditoriums in the country, where you had thousands of people go to see Booker T. Washington and President Roosevelt speak, and even Jimmy Lunsford perform, all this stuff. And you had the church mansion in South Memphis that Boss Crump destroyed during a fire demonstration back in the early 50s. He did it on purpose, of course, because he wanted to destroy any monument to Black excellence in this city. That was a Democrat, Boss Crump, one of the most powerful political bosses in American history, made by Black people.
That's sad.
But Republicans, the Civil Rights Acts and Voting Rights Acts would not got passed by Republicans because, the Democrats back in the 50s had the Southern Manifesto at the federal level. Lyndon B. Johnson, he didn't sign it, but basically had a lot of prominent Southern Democrats signing saying we're going to block civil rights, we're going to block Black folks' access to whatever so-called equalities they think they supposed to have. But Al Gore Sr. and Lyndon B. Johnson did not sign the Southern Manifesto. But the Civil Rights Acts, now that we're not been passed, I mean, even Reconstruction, you think about the Memphis Race Massacre of 1866, when they burned down all the Black churches and schools. It was like the white Irish police. Think about Memphis. Memphis is an immigrant city. You had the Irish just came from the potato famine, and they came to Memphis. They became the power in Memphis, the Irish. You think about the Irish, you think about New York City or Boston or St. Louis, Chicago. You ain't think about Memphis being that powerhouse. Matter of fact, the mayor during the Memphis race massacre in the Civil War was an Irish immigrant born in Ireland, I believe, in 1812. And he was an Irish immigrant, but they had a problem with the U.S. colored troops at Fort Pickering. They ain't like black men in uniform. They ain't like black folks getting access to the franchise. So they started the Memphis race massacre. The police got into it with the U.S. colored troops. The first night, you had a person get sexually assaulted along with her roommate Lucy Smith, who was 16. But Frances Thompson was a transgender woman, and they gang raped her. They ran a train on like these police officers and other white men. They forced them to fix breakfast for them, and they sexually assaulted them. And she was among the black women. I guess they classify as women. 5 black women testified before Congress about what happened in Memphis race massacre. That had an impact on the passage of the 14th Amendment as well as the Reconstruction Act. Then led to black folks making all these gangs after the Civil War. So Memphis is a powerhouse of a place, but the black people in Memphis, we are paradigm shifters. So they cannot erase American history without erasing black history.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. The more you learn, because this is the thing about Trump, it gets you more into trying to learn what in the hell are they erasing and why. If you are a research person, if I could tell you that the first person died for the Revolutionary War was a black man, how you going to erase that?
Right.
He caught 2 bullets to the chest. It was 5 people that got killed March 5th, 1770 in the Boston Massacre, but one person got shot twice. So he was no bystander. He was no, oh my God, they targeted him because of his power and influence, Crispus Attucks. He was an organizer. So my thing is, you cannot tell the story without us.
Yeah.
You cannot get no glory because we've been here longer than y'all. Trump folks ain't come over here till like the late 19th century.
Yeah. And that's the question that I have asked. What happens when, because really that's the only really the true problem I have with Trump is the erasure of the black history and the fact that it's just, that's my issue. But
can't erase it though. It's impossible.
I ask what it has done for me is it made me more aware, because we take for granted and we just move on like history is not important. And then when, from slavery day until freedom, those parents, our forefathers and things, they didn't share all of their pain and agony, from slavery with the family. So we lose a lot of our history. So the history that is out there, we don't want that erased because that's all we really kind of have to hold on to if we didn't get that parent who was not ashamed of what they went through and shared their information. You know what I mean? My family has a book. It's called The Freeborn Slave. And it talks about my, I'm gonna say my grandfather's great grandmother and grandfather. And it talks about their experience during slavery. Now, if I didn't have that book, right, because one of the people in my family got the story from one of their ancestors, and it carried on enough that they could write the book, and now that I read it, then I understand, like one of the people, one of my family members was a part of the Tuskegee project where they did the syphilis thing. He was a doctor on that project. So, you learn this history that you don't know because they didn't share because of the hurt and the pain and all the suffering that they went through. Can you imagine having to tell your children after slavery that you had been raped and sodomized and tarred and feathered and all those things, but it's coming from you saying that all these, that's hard to share. I've got some life experiences right now that I would not tell my daughter. You know what I mean? And so we lost a lot of our history because we didn't have anybody to share the shame. And so when you got somebody that's saying, let's take it out of the museums and take it out of the books and take it out, that's hurtful to me. So I asked the question, then where are we going to be in American history? Because we are American history. So now that you've erased us from all the rest of that, now where are we going to go in the history books? Are you going to tell about the what is it?
Christmas addicts. Yeah.
Addicts. Are you going to tell about him? Are you going to, tell those stories that we know about Booker T. Washington. We know about some of these people already, but those people that really, really matter, we don't know about those people if we don't pick it up from the history books. Because a lot of history that I learned in college. I didn't learn in school.
Now that's interesting. Like, it is self-taught, our own history, who we are. I know some very intriguing historical information about Memphis. Our city is full of amazing cultural heritage. I never learned about us at school either. What happened to me was that my mama's mother, my grandmother Hattie Mae Taylor, she had a World Book Black History Encyclopedia 1 edition from the 70s. And when I was in elementary school, I would go into the living room, get that book, that 1-volume book, sit on the floor, because she wouldn't let me sit on the couch. You know how they had the plastic. That was for the special cousins and people she liked from out of town. We couldn't sit on there, so I just sat on the floor for hours going through that book, and I'm learning about Paul Robeson and Burt Williams and Medgar Evers and the Fort Pillow Massacre. I never learned about this at school. And I learned about Emmett Till from the elders from Mississippi. They would talk about growing up and coming of age and what they had to endure. And also working as a tour guide with my mom at the Civil Rights Museum when I was like 11 and 12 years old as a volunteer, just following her around, shadowing her around and reading the exhibits and looking at the books and stuff at the bookstore. So I really had to teach myself about this stuff, as well as being willing to listen to the elders. But we don't even have that no more. Like, the thing about it is, we got the technology. Like, I was at the Ida B. Wells Plaza today. I'm a big Ida B. Wells fan. I love her. I wish I had the stem cells and the time machine. I would bring her back. I would catch bodies for Ida B. Wells. That's how much I love her. I was at the thing today on 4th Street, Ida B. Wells, wherever, and it was a guy from Florida. He came up to the statue where I was looking at the statue. He said, "You know what's interesting? Can you imagine what Ida B. Wells be doing with like YouTube and TikTok right now, or what Frederick Douglass will be doing Instagram? He's the most photographed person of the 19th century. He'll been a star on Instagram."
You're right.
I can imagine having a live from Ida B. Wells. I'll be all, man, who got hung up today, Ida B? Who they lying on today, Ida B? I'm gonna tell y'all who they lying on. Y'all cash out me though, and follow me on IG and TikTok. Ida B. free. Ida B. free. I'm like, oh, can you imagine we had our people like Dr. King and them, Malcolm X? Malcolm X would have been a star on X. He would have them X spaces and be just dropping the sign. But that's why I be thinking about it. Well, okay, I'm weird. But I said, we're not doing the right thing with what we got, though. We have all this access to stuff. We're not doing what we could be doing because we're not focused.
Yeah. And we don't teach. I'm gonna tell you something that I think Black people have a problem with, and that's writing things down.
Yeah.
A lot of the knowledge that Black people have, and I believe we are the smartest people in the world. That's just
we are. We everywhere.
Yeah.
We civilization people.
Yeah, but we've got all this knowledge, but we don't write things down. And so if we can't pass that knowledge on, it gets lost. We've got to learn how to write things down, right?
Yep.
It should not be that you've raised 10 sons and you a car mechanic and he don't know how to fix a car.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Because he didn't sit up under you all the time. You ought to be able to write that down, and you ought to be able to give. I got a book that it's not a published book, but it's a book that it's a private book. All of my life experiences that affected my life in some way.
Yeah.
I want to share that with my daughter. And so the book is for her. And so I give all those, what I learned from that, and what, don't you do this, this is what became of what I tried to do. So the best way to do this, let's do it this way, or this might be the better way. This is the way, that I'm leaving. I used to do, I'm a cosmetology by technical school, right?
Okay.
And my daughter was 10 years old, I think. I wrote everything down. I wrote down everything that I purchased, every dime that went out, and I taught her, this is how you do this. This girl is brilliant now. I'm telling you, she's so smart. But it's because I'm pushing it. I'm not depending on the school.
Right.
Though I do, but not completely. You know what I mean? I've got to add to her knowledge. I've got to share my life experiences with her so that she don't make the same mistakes that I made. Yes. I can say these things, but some things are hard to say. But if I write it down and I can share it with her, then it's so much easier. And then guess what? She got a reference to go back to. When I'm gone, she can go right back to that reference because it's written down. I think Black people have to learn how to write things down so that they can continue the education of Black people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we don't even know how to read, though. We illiterate. Like, we choose not to read, or our attention spans are so short now. I used to be able to read like a 300-page book within a couple of days. I could be able to read 3 pages. You know, like my attention, like TikTok brain or something. Like, I can't focus.
It's because of this new, we living in a whole new era. You don't have to read. You just push a button and it'll read it to you.
Yeah, that's true too. But like, sometimes you can get things faster when you just read it versus somebody just talking and stuff.
I understand better when I read. Now I can push the button and let the book play for me.
In the audio book.
I find myself going off. Like if I'm listening to the book, I find myself moving away. Like my mind will go. You know what I mean? But if I'm reading, my mind is right there. So it's it's good in some ways, it's bad in others.
Well, I agree. It was like the book of Eli. Somebody got to have the knowledge. Somebody have that book. You know, it may not be. No, my thing is like I'm more about legacy minded stuff myself. Like I look at like I'm weird. Like I'm kind of disassociated myself from people. Like I'm looking at the future. Like sometimes when I'm talking to people, I'm not really talking to them. I'm talking to the future. They're like making it seem like I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to y'all grandkids or something. I ain't talking to y'all. Y'all don't care about what I got to say. Y'all think I'm crazy. But I'm documenting what I'm saying and I'm recording, I'm doing whatever I got to do. Because it's not that I'm obsessed with being remembered. Like people don't understand. It's not about that. It's about if I organize it correctly, somebody may discover it one day. Whatever. It might not be all of the stuff. It might be some of the stuff that I wanted to leave behind. But somebody's going to discover something. It could be a benefit. And it's not about, because Dick Gregory would tell me sometimes when the universal God chooses you, it doesn't leave any evidence. I mean, there's no fingerprints, there's no footprints. People may not ever knew you existed, but the work remains. The energy is there. So the momentum is still there. You know, that's why I'm more of a legacy. I kind of look at people now, it's like I'm a reformed people pleaser in a way. I used to I can't fight everybody battles. I can only be committed to the mission I was sent here to do. Now I'm just figuring it out now what that is. By me figuring out now, I'm able to let things go that used to hold me back. Yeah. Like I'm able to forgive better, forgive myself in particular, but able to let things go. Say, you know what? Whatever, it served its purpose as a lesson. Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and feel sorry for myself because 100 years from now, people ain't going to know why I was feeling sorry. If I knew that I existed at all.
Yeah, so and feeling sorry for yourself won't change a thing.
Say that again.
As if feeling sorry for yourself will not change a thing.
That will change nothing because, but I'm saying you just got to get up, get out, and get something, and keep it going. And don't. I mean, I think people got to learn that it's okay to mess up.
Right.
It's okay not to always get it right as long as you're trying to do something. Yeah. It's going to better yourself and make things better. For a lot, in different ways for other people. You may not know the impact of that, but I feel like if you could show up as the best version of yourself, it doesn't make a difference if it's received by everybody or nobody, because God knows what to do with that energy once you through with it.
Absolutely,
it doesn't die; it goes somewhere. So I don't say I ain't gonna hold you up, but so who's your opponent? I think we should talk about.
LaSonia Hall. I think she's the county or the city administrator right now.
So she's got power. She's a long-time bureaucrat or something like that. Like she's been in the system for a while.
She's been there. I think I heard her say 25 or 30 years or something like that. So
it's time for her to go. It's time to go. I mean, I'm looking at the situation you brought in the feds, the audit. I ain't saying she had fault, but she's part of the old ways.
Yeah.
It got to go. It's got to go. It ain't been working for us.
Yeah.
And so I would say once again, people support this wonderful, beautiful sister at timefortina.com. Go to a website, learn more about her. And also, share this interview, this conversation with your networks, because it's important. Like I want to get other people out there, the so-called people, the dark horses, the people they didn't see coming, because that's how God works. It ain't about what you know, it's the unknown. Yeah. It's like, you can't see everything, but God knows everything.
That's right.
And God knows people's heart and discernment. And I feel like this is a good woman who want to really do right by the people, who want to be transparent, who is transparent, who is very giving and committing to be a part of the solution rather than the problem. So you have any closing thoughts or words you got to share with the people, good sister Tina?
Yes, I will say this. This man is amazing. He's so full of knowledge that it boggles my brain. And I want him to join me. I'm putting this out there so y'all can hear and y'all can help me encourage him to come together for a Black history for our youth, just in the community, for those who wants to know more about our history, so that when you can't go to the museum and see it, or you can't, pull it up online or whatever, or find it in a book or in a school, you have somebody that has enough knowledge to share with you your history. Okay, I want to get that out there. That's that. And then I just want to say, if you really, really, really are concerned about Shelby County and want somebody in the clerk's office that also cares about Shelby County, someone that's gonna have some competence, because we do need that in the office, and someone who is going to be compliant, because these are the problems that we're having right now, and somebody who's concerned and has a citizen's care plan, then you want me in that office. I have the experience, I have the education, I have what is necessary to bring that office up to par. All I need is a chance, and I can get that with your vote. So please give me your vote. Again, go to timefortina.com, and there you can vote. You can't vote there, but there you can donate, you can volunteer, and you can learn more about me.
Well, we got somebody here. You got a fan, an instant fan. Goddess of Peace, Love 5341. You have my vote. Get in there, do your best. And that's all you can do. Peace, love, and blessings to you. Thank you, Goddess of Peace. That's a wisdom. So it's funny how these things reach people. You don't know who you impacting by this showing up. Most of life is just about showing up, and you could choose to show out if you want to. You could show out. I'm sure you're gonna show out. And so thank you so much for giving of your time and of your perspective and the gifts of you being you to the people. We really appreciate it. And I'm glad to be of service with this platform to help amplify your message.
Thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate it. And I think I got me a new partner to talk to, because boy, I love talking to this man. I'm telling you.
I can't do small talk, man. I don't know how. I got cursed. It's like I'm an acquired taste. I don't know how to do small talk. I can't. I know how to do these long conversations, but I enjoy
But look, when you're talking about something, long conversations don't even seem long.
They sure don't, because it went by fast. You know what I mean? Yeah. Thank you, Sister Tina. In the words of Duke Ellington, we love you madly. Keep on producing and pushing. And I know I'll see you very soon.
Yes. Thank you. Goodbye, y'all.
Goodbye. But not goodbye, but just, hey, so long.
See you in a minute.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, yeah, you got a fan. She said, gratitude, Brother Ron, for having Mrs. Tina Montgomery on. Yeah, she is definitely spoken for. And she can speak for herself, too. But, yeah. So thank you so much. And I guess it does it for this edition of We All Be News Free Dixie for the 21st century. I'm your host, Brother Ron, also known as R2C2H2, the artivist. Now, like I said, this is not a paid spot. This is somebody I wanted to help on, because I want to do it where I start showcasing folks who not getting all the shine they should as they do what they do for the people. And so I just want to say this as well. Disclaimer: the views expressed by host and guest or guests on the We All Be TV platform are not the official views, opinions, beliefs, or perspectives of We All Be News or the We All Be Group Incorporated. We All Be News is an organization that thoroughly believes in supplementing the information narrative that is usually supplied by the corporate news entities with those viewpoints and expressions which may be marginalized or ignored for a plethora of reasons. We are about informing the general public on alternative perspectives as it relates to news and information, and letting the general public be the ultimate judge in deciding on how to use said information. Informed citizens are responsible citizens. Thank you for your support. And that does it for this edition of We All Be News Free Dixie for the 21st century. Your brother Ron signing off with the good news that you can use. And that does it for this edition. One love. Yes, indeed.